Hey everyone, welcome along to another video. So in today's video we're going to be talking about conversion. I see again another problem with store owners. They seem to drive traffic to their site, whether it's organic or paid, and they say that they've sent X amount of visits to their store product pages and they haven't made a sale. So quite common, I notice, so I wanted to address that in this video, and there's a few reasons why people experience that, so I'm going to explain that in the video, so let's dive right in. So let's start off with an introduction. Why am I making this video? It's a common problem I notice with web store owners when they get into the game of e-commerce. They set up a store, drive traffic to it, whether it's paid or organic, and after a few hundred visitors to the product page, they haven't converted a single sale. So maybe they got a few add to cart events, but don't actually convert a sale. Anyone experiencing this issue with low add to cart events is because the offer on the product page is simply not convincing enough. Your product page is not doing a good enough job of persuading your audience to buy. It's simply not attractive and doesn't do a good enough job of persuading your visitors to take out their credit card and make a purchase. So store owners get frustrated and they start blaming their ads as to why, as the reason to why they're not making sales. But the truth is that the ad did a good job in terms of persuading your target audience to click and find out more about what you have to offer. The ad created a level of interest and got your viewer to micro-commit to your product page. So the bottleneck is more so with your product page rather than your ad, okay? So your product page is not convincing. If you manage to get a statistically significant amount of visitors to your site, so let's say 100 or 200, okay, visitors, and you haven't made a sale, then it's time you pause and take a look under the hood, so to speak, okay? So a tip here would be, before you send any traffic to your product page, make sure that you add like a software that tracks your user behavior, okay? So if you manage to send a couple of hundred say targeted visitors to your product pages and you have tracking in place, you can study the heat map of the page along with say the click map, the scroll report and viewing behavior via video. And a good tool to use is like Crazy Egg for this. They offer a 30-day free trial to help you. So it's good to study your page after you've got these visitors. It's good to study what people are actually doing on the page to kind of get an understanding about if there's any sort of friction happening, and is your page demonstrating enough value, and is it obvious what to do next in the sales process. And so a bad offer really gets you nowhere. I mean, using tracking software solves part of the conversion problem, okay, but you need to take a look at the elephant in the room here, which is your offer, and diagnose from there. In most cases, the value you're offering to your product page correlates to the success of sales on your store. So you need to ask, am I demonstrating enough value in exchange for my prospects' money? That's a question you need to ask yourself, and this is a great question to ask because it forces you to critique yourself. You have to be good at persuading your visitors to buy from you. So is your offer making your cold or warm traffic excited to whip out their credit cards to buy your no-brainer offer? So how to tell if you've got a bad offer? Well, there's a couple of things to consider here. So someone lands on your page. Is your bounce rate high? If it is, that's a sign. Obviously no add to carts. Perhaps your tracking software shows via heat maps or scrolling reports, click maps, that kind of thing, that your offer is poor. So are they spending enough time digesting your content, clicking on buttons that you want to have them click on? Digesting certain content on the page, okay? And obviously no sales as well. That's a fairly obvious one. But how? So like low engagement on the product page. So a lack of engagement with reading content, reviews, FAQs, you may have video plays even, and image zoom in outs, add to carts, that kind of thing, okay? And scattered concentration of content being viewed on the page, okay? So they're kind of like ways that you can sort of tell if your offer is just not appealing enough, okay? So what's the solution here? Well, the solution does consist of three things that I would suggest, okay? So knowing how to sell to your audience is one, understanding why people give you money, okay? And knowing how to present an irresistible offer to your audience. So one, okay, is knowing how to sell your audience, and that's through ad and or product page, okay? So you need to get their attention with a hook, agitate their pain point, create a desire for the solution that you have, provide belief and understand that they can get results from the solution that you are offering, and close the sale via call to action. So next up is understanding why people give you money, okay? So when a visitor lands on your product page, there's usually two conflicting conversations that go on in people's heads. And this is kind of more so true for cold traffic. The warmer your traffic, you know, obviously you've established rapport, trust, that kind of thing. So they feel maybe they've even bought from you in the past, so there's less of a kind of anxiety to purchase from you because they've already experienced buying from you before. But you know, there's two things going on here: pain of buying, pain of not buying. So one conversation is justifying why they should not spend their money with you. The other is justifying why they should spend their money with you and your solution. Okay, so as you can see, the bar here, the pain of buying is up. There's a guard. They're skeptical, or they don't. Maybe you haven't earned their trust, that kind of thing. And the pain of not buying. So yeah, it's lower. Okay, so we need to reverse that. So your job is to decrease the pain of buying from you and increase the pain of not buying from you. So to continue on, the pain of missing out, the pain of not getting the experience you're offering, the pain of not getting the solution that's going to solve their agitation with what you have to offer, should be greater than buying from you, you know, the pain of buying from you. The question to ask is, how do we lower the pain of buying and increase the pain of not buying? And achieving this will help us to get better sales conversions. And we do this by knowing how to present an irresistible offer to your audience. So to decrease the pain of buying, we can create a no-brainer offer to your target visitors. So using our garden niche example, which we've done in the past in other videos, so how to grow a vegetable garden, you can offer the following, right? So you can bundle some products together that help to deliver, you know, a better outcome when your customers start out in their vegetable garden journey. So things like tools, various vegetable seeds, planter, gloves, pots, that kind of thing, okay? And then you can even add in a couple of bonuses as well to make the offer more juicy. So you could add in, say, plant support clips, protective netting, that kind of thing. And again, to increase the value further, where we're lowering the pain of buying further, is to, you know, include a course that teaches your customers how to grow your, you know, the veg garden from scratch. And this can be in the form of like video and or ebook, okay? So it's a digital information product. You can even add then, you know, like a 90-day guarantee, refund guarantee, and if appropriate, you could even set up a payment plan as well. So offer all this at a discount rate as well as another attractive thing. So all the value that you have in this offer is worth $200, but today's price is, you know, $150. Okay, so with all this value being stacked and everything that they're getting, and then this discount included, they're getting so much more in comparison to the money that's being asked for. So suddenly the pain of buying plummets. It drops. You can see it there in the bar. And it doesn't, you know, it doesn't seem so bad to see yourself getting more, you know, you're getting more value now than the exchange of the 150 being asked for. So the perceived value has increased dramatically. So to continue on, all of these elements in the offer help to create something irresistible for your audience. So crafting an offer like this really helps to convert your audience, especially those that are not familiar with your brand and have never kind of bought from you before. Okay, so to increase the pain of not buying, you could the discount for this offer, you know, it disappears. It goes back up to 200. You don't get it for 150. It'll be 200 now. Maybe you can cancel the payment plans disappear, or you take out the bonuses. You can even you know, use a little bit of scarcity as well. Genuine scarcity, to say you only have X amount of this entire offer. Okay, so if you start taking away some of the value that is being presented, then there's, you know, the pain of not buying from you now, it starts to increase. So you've lowered the pain of buying, or you're lowered the pain of buying and you're increasing the pain of not buying. at this point. So you can see how the pain of not buying or missing out can increase the desire to purchase. And let's talk about existing brand authority for a minute. So if you have a brand with a familiar audience, you don't always need the elements of knowing how to sell to your audience. So the hook, agitation, desire, belief, understand, that kind of thing, okay? You have already addressed, their problem, pain point, desire to change, believe and understand that they can change and get results from their pain point experience. So your warm audiences who already know about your brand and need one of your solutions are already sold. It's just a matter of closing. When you have brand and establish trust, influence, and rapport, you don't need to go through the entire sales process. The only thing that really happens is the close within the sales funnel. So if you take a look at, say, Apple, for example, they have established trust and influence. So their hook is like, delivering exceptional user experience through mobile computer technology and their digital content services. So, and the agitation from the audience is that they don't get the same user experience from their solutions in the marketplace, from other solutions in the marketplace, and are left frustrated. So Apple create the desire for a more intuitive, easy to use user experience, removing complexity from people's lives and empowering them and their lifestyle, okay? And the belief and understanding is that Apple have established how using their technologies make their desires come true. So that's kind of like a very broad way of Apple's kind of like branding and authority that they have, okay? So just to conclude then, guys, there is now so much value being offered in return for your customers' money, with very little risk to them, that their pain of buying plummets and their pain of missing out, skyrockets. So this is what you need to bear in mind going forward. Your website needs to sell to your target audience. It needs to be more persuasive and convincing with what you are offering. And you do this by increasing the perceived value of your offer. So to recap, it's knowing how to sell to your audience, understanding why people give you money, and knowing how to present an irresistible offer. And it doesn't matter, this could be done through your Facebook ads, Google ads, it can be done through your email channel. It's all about connecting the dots and in the sales process. Alright guys, so that is the end of the video. I thought it was appropriate for me to address this problem today, because I do see a lot of store owners that are coming to me and they're saying, like, I'm sending traffic to my store, nothing's converting, and I say, well, it's probably down to, you're not doing a good enough job of actually selling. If the traffic is targeted, if you're getting clicks from your ad, for example, you're creating some form of interest, but the actual the page itself is not doing a good enough job of motivating people to make a purchase with you. Okay, so the 3 points that we covered now in the solution for this video should definitely help you out. So that's it. If you have any other questions, leave them down in the comments below. If you have any other sort of ideas for content in future, I'd love to hear them as well, and I might be able to post up a video on that too. So until then, guys, have a great day and take care.